What's going on, y'all? It's your boy once again. It's been a little bit light on deck profiles for EX8, so I wanted to change that. Took something different to a local, had a lot of fun with it, and yeah, I'm about to get griefed by my cat. Yepper. Should have closed this door. Well, time to do a deck profile that's going to have various levels of scuff, just like most of my lists that involve our good friend Beelzemon. Start things off. We start with the eggs, like we always do. Very important to go mixed rarity. It allows you to just summon the dark arts. So we got the Armour, Mill 2. Everyone knows what this egg does at this point. Two of the participant ones might try and get a full play set. Got mine with Mr. Tricks on the Sticks. You've actually probably already seen the list that I used to get these. Then a lot of this list is similar. We got two of my strongest soldier, the on delete Mill 3. As many as we're legally allowed to run of EX2. And then again, keeping up with the Dark Juju, can you tell that there were two of us that topped this top four on the same team? It's going to be 4 of the Warp Impmon, still your main win condition. I think that's going to change once we go into BT20. But for now, it's still the best Impmon, then 4 of the other best Impmon, Impmon X. So we're on 4, 8, 9, 11. Never forget how many rookies you have. Yeah, they're all pretty good. You do end up building a stack quite often. Then we run, no surprise here, 8 Wizard Mons, because that's just all the 4s that you need. And speaking of all the 4s that you need, all the 5s that you need, right here, still 4 Balmon, because if it's good enough to top 4 regional, it's good enough to win your locals. Sometimes I do feel like I wish I had the 5th one for Bal X, but there's just no space. There's just no space. And unfortunately, any space that there could be is being wasted for very important purposes. So we're on 3 of the EX2 Beelzemon. Last time we were on 4. We're on completely different arts each time, mostly just to do psychic damage to your opponent as you hit them with the sickness. So we got the Beelzemon Cup, we've got the Old Tart, and then we have, thanks to Chef Jamboree, the Binder one as well. So yeah, all 3 of these guys, you can still use it to play heavy board control like we did before. But then also free playing your Impmons. As a reminder, it can't play Impmon X. More Beelzemons, more board control, EX6, crazy card. This gets you so much value off your Balmon. It allows you to turn it into a trap. If you manage to keep turn with it, you always swing it and then just float straight into the Beelzemon with Rush, which just facilitates that extra check. It's 4 more mil. You often sometimes end up hammer sparking your way further up and being able to make further plays. Sometimes if you are at like 20 trash, but you don't, like, you have to choose between evolving into Beelzemon X in order to just get burn damage versus actually swinging. Obviously, there are some times where you can get value out and get a little bit more than that. Again, it's the reason I kind of wish that I had Balmon X sometimes, so that way I could always guarantee that I have the X antibody when I go into things like this. But it is what it is. The ST14 Beelzemon, wowie, look, 2 top 4s, small. Yeah, this card's still crazy, still gives you a bajillion memory. Probably one of the next best targets. Like, obviously, the Beelzemon with Rush is great. If you're floating on your opponent's turn, floating into this one's pretty good. Or the Digivolve 2 is crazy. It made your Gallantmon matchup a lot simpler. Because if you swing a Balmon that has the inherit, or like has the effects live, then you effectively just get 5 free memory if they take the bait, which they will. And then Beelzemon X is the last. Not really the last of our Beelzemon names. The last Beelzemon name is Blast Mode. But yeah, so 3, 2, 2, 2, and then 1. This one's down from 2 to 1 because we needed space. And we've kind of decided that Digivolve is going to make up a little bit more of our... is going to make up a little bit more of our kind of removal. Because before we were playing Hello Removal and then using this as an extra gun that we needed. The thing that you can do a little bit more in this list now is you... sometimes to remove bodies will swing, wrong Beelzemon, swing, evolve into this Beelzemon, do the mill, get the Digivolve, and then turn it into a level 3, which the Impmon Inherit can then clear. So that's another way of kind of like removing bodies without having to climb as high on the being able to delete, because this is only de-digivolve once you have 10, whereas in order to clear something like a level 5, you need 20 cards in trash for the EX2 Beelzemon, so EX6 actually ends up working quite nicely. To round out our level 7s, we're on 1 Ruin mode, because Ruin mode ruins games, and sometimes you just clear a board, they have something in Raising, or they have Scramble, so you just end on Ruin and win the game on the spot. So that's the last of our Digimon. And then the reason we never have space for anything is because you will take Darkness Wave from my Cold Dead hands. This time, though, got a little facelift. Instead of Darkness Wave, we're on Darkwing Delusion. Functionally the exact same because it's mill 3. And then give sec +1 to one of your Devimon. Of course, we have no Devimon. But we also never have yellow sources to bring back anything off of Darkness Wave. That said, though, BT20... if you're on some cheeky, you know, Beelzemon hybrid, returning to your roots, maybe Darkness Wave actually does add cards back to your hand. But I mean, what I guess if you're on Ruin, I guess the Darkness Wave would add a card back. But like Lamau, who cares? I was just using it because it's got a pre-release stamp. Because we love some like miscellaneous rarity, not max rare, not bling rare, just like, you know, mixed rare. Force Slingers, the ones that were participant stamped, did do more than the ones that weren't participant stamped, which is your reminder that Digimon is a pay-to-win game. So love the deck and it loves you back. 3 Rivals Barrage. Looking forward to having to hunt for purple borders of this as someone that always has to borrow cards in order to play this deck. Rivals Barrage is Rivals Barrage. It doesn't really need any explanation. Only 1 7th cluster, 1 for space, and 2... because really you're just using the card to not deck out, and now we have a couple of other cards that stop you from decking out. So we're on a 1-off Scramble, which I was using it basically as a Rivals Barrage plus. If I ever got taken off the board or took myself off the board, then Scramble allowed me to Rivals back basically what I needed and get a body on board. Even though the body wouldn't have Rush, it allows you to put down the Ondali if it's early game, and it allows you to put out this Impmon. Sometimes they're in a position where they can't answer this if you float it onto the board, and then next turn it gets to do its attack. So versus Galacti that he couldn't find the Destro to immediately answer it. Being able to scramble back rather than burning my Rivals that was also active allowed me to play this to board. It didn't get cleared. The next turn it gets to swing and turn into the Digivolve Beelzemon as my first game action, which even though, yeah, it would pass turn, it Digivolves and clears the... it managed to Digivolve and clear. So it ended up being really useful because I ended up milling Memory Inherits and stuff like that. We're on 2 training, which I would love to have 3, honestly, but... yeah, just space. Again, Darkwing Delusion takes up so much space. We're also on 1 X antibody because Rush Beelzemon being able to X antibody Evo during its attack swing into Beelz X is just so much damage that this 1 card facilitates. You could run it at 2, or if you really wanted the extra search, be on the 3rd training, because we're still on 3 Iron Mako, which, you know, is a decent amount of searching. You basically always prioritize your Balmon. As soon as it shows up, you always pick up the Balmon off of a search. You shouldn't be picking up anything else because remember, you've only got 4 of these, and if you don't see them, you don't see the rest of the game. But yeah, you could maybe go 2x antibody or 3 training. I actually really liked the Darkwing Delusion as turn 1. There were situations where sometimes it finds me pieces. There are situations where sometimes it goes neutral in order to set up a Rivals Barrage. So I still really like Darkwing Delusion. I think it's the kind of like little bit of source that allows me to kind of take Beelzemon's traditional lines and just throw them out the window, because a lot of the time, yeah, Beelzemon game plan is fantastic. It does what it needs to do. It, you know, it wins you games. It's, you know, it's Beelzemon. It's, you know, a top tier deck for a reason. But sometimes, because especially you're on like stack building now, sometimes your lines can be pretty easily mapped, even if your opponent isn't someone that picks up your trash all the time and just goes, oh yeah, how much is this? Where's this? Where's this? Check this. Eventually, if you played enough Digimon, you kind of know what Beelzemon's supposed to be doing, and then sometimes just having a Darkwing Delusion is enough to speed up the clock, set up pieces that weren't supposed to be there yet, or just like change things up. I've used this to get over thresholds for 1 memory so many times. So I really like this card. Again, it also allows you to, with the starter deck Beelzemon, set up a memory trap if they can't answer the Beelzemon before hitting security. So Really like the card, as always. This is Beelzemon. I will be building Beelzemon 21 now that I've got all of these pieces as a baseline. We've got some ideas. Jambo's been working with me, and some of the other purple players have also been kind of like testing builds. So, yeah, this might have a completely different look in 21. Or if I don't like the new look, I will be adjusting this one to add some new pieces. So stay tuned for that. I know it's the end of EX8, so like who really cares? But I wanted to put this one out. I enjoyed the list. And yeah, it made me buy new sleeves because I ran out of Dragon Shield Altars. So now I've got the cool little like anniversary blue and silver ones, which we love misdirection. Stop putting purple sleeves on your purple deck. Ignore that my ghosts are sleeved up in purple. I will be building ghosts in VT20, so stay tuned for ghosts. Bye.